And Aleph. I realize I'm just flying through this, and so you have to flip through the pages. So let me see how this goes. Okay, on Ayin Aleph, we're going to start going through the words, particular words of the bracha. Reading from the top of this page, it says the brachas of the Birchas L'Hadlik Ner Chanukah. And he adds over here, because we've been talking about there are slightly different versions between the Yara and the Rashash. Consider Yara Noseh B'Kol Teva Kavana L'Laila Achas. Each one of them. We'll kind of look at that. V'Leil Aleph, you have this. You have the Chesed, the Nikud for Chesed, interspersed with the Kubutz for the hay. So he said that the male aspect, which is the Yud and the Vav, are going to change every day. But I think we may have some differences later on. But that since Chanukah is Behod, so therefore Hod is the Nikud for Hod is emphasized. And then it says here, this is the first tikkun of the beard of Eric Anpin is the word kale. That's going to be concentration for this night. And then it says, he says, Laham Shech Shefa Mekaser Elyon. So we're in the very top of place of the maybe the upper parts. If we're bringing it back down from Etzilus. The base is Vugi Chagat Da'atik V'Arich V'Erik Anpin. So two Zivugim. And the question is, we don't know why he says it's coming from the Chagat Da'atik. Again, the Chagat is a partzuf according to his the Rashash. He keeps bringing that. So we have, this is going to be two Yehudim between the Chagat the Atik, and we're going to show them. Let's look at that first. And he had said previously that all Yehudim, real Yehudim, have to come from a Yehud Panimi and a Yehud Chitzon. And they're defined by the position of the Aleph versus the Yud. So he says on the first one, the Zivug Panimi is going to refer to the Chabad of the parts of Chagat, and the Zivug Chitzon is going to refer to the Naiv Chagat of the Chagat Da'atik. So he says then the next one is going to be the Zivug Panimi. We're going to go down to Eric Anpin. And the big Panimi, which once again, and so we have a correlation. There's a correlation here that the Yichud Panimi is going to go with the Chabad. The Chabad are the parts of Chagat Da'atik. Here is the Chagat Eric Ampen. I'm sorry. Zivug Panimi is going to show you the Yud on the inside. That's the inside. That's the Panimi. And the Chitzon is going to be with the Yud on the outside. Now, the implications of this I don't know, other than what he said. That's what it looks like. The Naiv Chagat the Chagat. Okay, so now we're going to move on. So we saw that. Let's see. Oh, there's a little blurb at the bottom. Yekaven lahamshech shefek mezivug benimi. So the concept is like this: you're going to take the shefek from the zivug panimi, the chabad dema uben darich. So let's look at this again. So it's going to panimi. We know that from what he said is that it refers to the chabad. So therefore, it's the right and the left side. Dema uben darich anpin. So we're moving down, I guess. So this is bringing it closer to us. The ziva panimi the chabad demaru beben da abba be'iba b'yasas. So we're bringing the shefa down. Once again, he says the panimi is going to be the chagad demaru the ben, which is the right side and the left side, or the flow that's going to come really, I guess, for the abadika and imadika aspects of Eric Anpin. L'zivug panimi the chabad demahu ben the abba be'iba b'yasas of them. So let's go on, and we're going to turn the page, and we'll just go through this a little bit. And it says, so the top of the page is, it shows you the yichud panimi. So he just mentioned that this yichud panimi. Now looking at the yichud panimi, what you have here, on the right side, you have all of the shefa that's coming from Ma. And the shefa that's coming from Ma is an asmab. Now the shefa that's coming from Ben is going to be kasa and kamag. So Rebbe Memron had commented when I know you were getting kind of secondhand, so he had commented there should be 4 against 4. It should be kasa, kasa, kamag, kana. But it's not. In another place, I think over here, he's going to say somewhere that actually and I always wonder about this, and we're going to see it again, is that the get it out, the Ekyas and the Miluyim are a lavush for what's going on in the Ma. So the Ma goes into so to speak, into these, or they're wrapped together, they're coming together, and it's possible, because you're going to say something like this later on, that the Kasa actually covers over 2 of these, which would be the Av and the Kasa, Av and the Sag. And that the next one, which would be Kamag, will be cover over the Ma and the Ben. That's one idea of why you have 4 on one side and 2 on the other. Now, I say that's one idea of that. And all of this shefa, let's just start from the top again. He says all of this shefa, which is the shefa panimi, because we had it up above over there, is going to go into the malchus, which is going to look like a havaya, and the right side is going to go into malchus, and the left side, that is the Ben side, is going to go into malchus also. All of this is going to go into malchus. So now he says, and then after that, you're going to have this kavanah, the stream that the Yisod, the Abba V'Yasa. So on to the right side. So what's coming down to the right side is going to go to the right side in the lower parts of. On the next one, on the left side, he says V'Lahamshik Acher Kach the Yisod the Ima V'Tevuna Sheba. So now you brought these down to the Yisod. Now, I don't know about you. When I see something like this, I'm not really sure what to do with it. I added it up. I'm not sure what. Let me just say one more time. He said the Yisod, the Abba V'Yasos. So this, apparently what we're seeing here must be the Yisodos. He doesn't say that. But I added it up, and it comes out to be 299. With one more, it becomes 300, which is like the gematria of Elokim, the Yudid. It doesn't mean anything to me, except for one other small thing, as I was adding them up, which, trust me, I can add them wrong over and over and over. I added up over and over and over again. So you have 4 42s in here. The one that begins with, you have an Aleph, which is a 111. Then you have this Hey, which he's spelling, just in an unusual way. He does that 4 times. That Hey, Hey Yud, Hey Vav, and then the final Hey looking like that, which is actually 18, comes a gematria 42. So 42 we know is the power to move up. And that's what's happening when you're saying the word Baruch. So it's 111, which is more or less very close to Yabuk. I'm not sure what the Aleph by itself is, the incipience of everything. And so he says it is, as a group, it says Aleph K, a double K, then Yud, double K. So that's what this is. It's 299. That's the best I can make out of it. There's always a lot missing, and so we'll go on. So this is streaming down. That's supposed to be, I believe, the Yisod of the Abba Yasa side, and the Yisod of the Tavuna Bina, Ima Bina side. Then, okay, so that's gone in there. So once you get to that point, then the next thing he's going to say is Lahamshech Shefet Mezivuk Kitzonius. So we did this, the Panimi, and from the drawing that we saw on the previous page, we understand that Panimi comes first. So that's why we did that first. So then he says Lahamshech Mezivuk Kitzonius the Abba V'Ima V'Yasos Gimel Mab Umiluyehem. So let's just take a look at this. So he says, here's the Yichud, the Yud, Aleph, KK, like that. That's the Shulaf. And then we look at the next part. Now the next part is, first of all, is composed of the Oros. So this is always interesting that Rabbi Memran is telling us that the one is a makif and the one is a panimi. So the ekya is a makif and the havaya is a panimi. So these are the auras on the right side, the auras that are coming on the left side, and of course the double auras that are coming down the middle line. And then it shows us actually the malchit, which in the first case is going to be asam. Let me see if I got this. It's havaya, the milui, and the milui of the milui. I'm on the right side now. So you have havaya, then the milui of av, and then you have the milui of av, and then you have, which I don't know the significance of this. I think that if we learn the Rashash a little bit more, we might pick it up, but I don't have it yet, where he just shows the miluyim themselves without the havaya. And on the left side, you have, this is sag. Now remember, he had said something. I mean, he's going to say, we're going to get a chance to read some of that, hopefully. He said that on the left side, actually, the ekyas actually cover, well, let me go on. They cover sag as well. That is, the kasa covers sag as well. But that, maybe I'm getting mixed up. So anyway, what you have here, what you get is the oros, but these oros could indicate that the nikud is the nikud of bina. And you see here the milui, and then the milui of what? Of sag. And then it shows you just the milui only without the havaya at the bottom. And I was trying to say that I don't know what this actually contributes to it, what the milui, just the milui by itself means. Maybe it means like an extension, like just going down that much further. I'm not sure what it means. Then in the middle line, you have the doubles. As the Gaon says, is that the oros are doubled. And then you have the pasha of, and then the male of ma, and the male de ma, plus the 19, the number 19, which is the gematria of the milui by itself. Okay, that's what happens. All of that happens when you say the word Baruch. Now we're coming to the next place, which is on page Ayin Gimel. Do you have Ayin Gimel there? I don't want to go through too fast, because no, you have to find them. You should have.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Ayin Gimel.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to be better about this. I'm giving you a chance to find them. Apologize. Okay, so now we're still working on the bracha of the Hadlik Ner, and the next word is going to be Atah. Up above that, it says Baleil base, and then he said it's menukad like this, which is the Nikud. Today is the second day of Baruch Hashem, of Chanukah, and here we see Gevura in the male aspects. So you ask the question, say, well, so why is the male aspect changing? This is a kavana. This is the day of Gevura. And the hays, which are female, which is a receptacle for what's coming out of the male, is going to be in Hod because Chanukah is with Hod. And he says the second day is the second midah of the 13, which is Rachum. And now we say that's the whole idea there to begin with. And then he say the word Atah, it's a magic word. And for that word, he said, Mezivug penimi da ava ve'ima, yamshich asmab, v'chamisha chasadim me'ava v'yasas. I can't answer exactly what's going on, but he says that's what, why it's going on. And Rabbi Memran says, never ask why. Okay, but here it is. So I think it has a certain power, so that's what I'm looking for. So for the specific, so now you're down in Abba Ve'ima. You're going to give Mamshech Asma. We're going to take the Asma, and then down below it, you'll see it. Of Chamisha Chasadim Ma'ava V'yasas, and also the Chamisha Chasadim. So actually, if you look at the display here, you see that there's a right, there's a left, and then down below it is going to be the Chasadim. The Chasadim actually represent Das, because that's what's inside of Das. Not sure exactly, but you're just analyzing the best I could do on this. So what does he have in the top? He says, first of all, he has the Shilav, which is the Shilav Panimi. And then he's going to have Asmab. You're going to Av, Sag, Ma, U, Ben. All of that, those are mochim, and they're all going to be moving down along with the 5 chesadim. So now you have all of this moving down. Where is it going? It's going to the Yesod, the Penimi, the Ima, V'tavuna. So they came from Abba, right? So it came, what they say, Me Abba v'Yasas. And these partsufim, it's interesting that he's putting them together. So when he says Abba and Yasas, it sounds like it's two separate entities, but maybe he means that it's the combination, the Abba and Yasas combo. In other words, the male combo. It's going to be mashpia, what we have up above, down into the Yesod, Hapanimi, the Ima. That's where we're at right now. So he said, Ima, Shabo Tefer, and he wants to say that in the Yesod of Ima is also included her Teferis, Netzach, and Hod. Now, I'm not sure what that means. Shabo, Teferis, Netzach, and Hod. So in the Yesod of Ima, you have that as well coming into it. Ima, that is I'm calling it just for myself, the Ima Tavuna combo. They're riding together. Shabbat Teferis, Netzach, and Hod, and in that combination you have that, and now we have the Miluyim of the Alafim. So now we have the Eloi of Kasa, then you have on the other side Kona, and in the middle you have the middle line, which is Kamak. Now going down a little bit more, so that all is flowing into the Yesod Panimi. So it's telling right out, as is at the Yesod Panimi, there's a Yesod Panimi, there's also a Yesod Chitzoni. Now remember that in teaching, Rabbi Memran always said when we were looking at the Rashash, I mean, like the whole thing is still very mysterious, and he was always saying, besides don't ask why, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's see, he said, let's go on. I forgot what I was going to say. From there, Yamshech Hakol L'Malchus De'ima Tevuna. So once you get into the Yesod Panimi of the Ima Tevuna combo, Shabbat Teferis, and in there you're going to find, once again, he says the same thing. Inside of that Yesod, you have the accumulation. I'm assuming that he's talking about he says you have Teferis, Netzach, and Hod. V'chamisha Gevuros, and here are the 5 Gevuros, because you got into Ima now, and Ima is where you're going to find the Gevuros. Now here's the Chamisha Gevuros, he shows them, and then he says, this is flying down along with these Mochin, which is the Kasa, then on the other side is Kama, and then it's Kama, that is going what? It's going to go to the Malchus, the Ima to Tevuna. That's going to wind up in the Malchus of Ima and Tevuna. Then the next one he says is like this: Yekavin lahamshek mab da'av. So we know mab is the concept of. I'm giving you everything that I could think of here. The hamshek mab da'av. The mab da'av. Mab is the power of going upwards. And since we know that what we're going to see over here, down here, is going to be that same lineup, which is going to be this mob, based on the Pashat, the Male, and the Male, the Male, you're going to have, what's I going to say, the Kavin Lahamshek Mab Da'av Umiluyov Im Nachi Dechaya the Ruach. Now, I can do something with this picture, right? Because, this is what we're going to say. I was going to say, because the 42 that he's showing you is the 42 of Etzilus, of moving into Etzilus, or in Etzilus, because there are three yads of Bria, and there's Ana B'Koach in Yetzirah. Those are all mobs. So here is the mob that is for moving into Olam, or it is representative of, maybe that's it, of Atzilus. And once again, now the question is, what does he mean when he says, in the Nechi, which is the highest level of light, the Chaya, which is the second highest category of light, so it's the highest part of the second category. Then this other one here, the Ruach. I was just trying to puzzle over obviously everything is going into this Ruach of the Ruach. You're getting the top part, and the second top of the top part of the second top part, that which is Chaya. And then you're getting from that Chaya, look in the Ranchi there, and you're going to see that it has a Ruach, the Ruach. Inside of that, there's a Ruach inside of there, and inside of that is an Ranchi, and there's a Ruach there too. So I just can't figure what, he says that's a fact. So we'll just move on. So then he shows the Oros of the Chavaya, the Akia and the Chavaya. Again, Rabbi Memran says, and everybody says, and I don't really understand it. When he said earlier that the Ekia is a lavush, then I don't know why it doesn't say the lavush, but he says it's a makif. So what do we know about the makif? The makif is the stronger of the two lights. So this is the makif of somehow of Ima, or of not Ima, the akif of Abba, because it's menukad with patach, along with the benimi. These are the oros, and then they're going into the kesed, which is the pasha, and the chochma, which is the male, and then the bina, which is the male de male. This is what it looks like, the spread of the lights, and once again, the kernel of the milui is listed at the bottom. So I'm not sure that I have an explanation for that yet at this time. Where is this flow of light going? The flowing light is going to the kachav, the hachan, the hagat, the ma'u, ben, the ma, the zun. Let's try to translate. It's going to the top part of the right line of the parts of kol chagat. Now chagat really refers to zeranpin. So he says the chagat, I'm saying this to myself. I know the chagat isn't zeranpin. But he says the kachav of the chachan is going into the chagat. And what chagat? What part of the chagat? Well, in the chagat, there's a man, the mochin, the ma, the ben, the ma, the zun. So this is all right-sided. It's the kachav, the chagat, the ma, ben, the ma, the zun. So all of that's coming in. That's the best I could make out of it. Let's go over to page. I don't know how long that took you to find that page. I'm sorry. Let's find page Ayin Hay. You got page Ayin Hay?
Okay. Yeah.
Good. I know you can probably blow it up and see it really well. Yeah. Okay, so now we're getting to the third word, the third magic word. Belel Gimel. It's going to be menukad with Tiferes, with the nikud for Tiferes. And it goes along with the third midah, which is the word chanun. Now, I'm not going to get into the tiv here, but instead I think that we should start at the shefa. There might be some interesting things in the shefa, because it seems like the tiv is really saying over what we could say by ourselves by looking at it. And he goes through the 8 different days. And he goes for the nikudos of those days. And if you look at the male aspect, it's the nikud of male aspect. All female aspects are with the kubuts until you get to the 7th night. Over there it changes. And then on the 8th night, it also adds up into there's a kubuts at the end. So he has something to say about it. So looking just so we understand that the female aspect is always going to be a kubuts except for the 7th night. And so something special, maybe something special about the 7th night, I'm sure. So then he shows the nikudim are going to be chesed, then the next one, leil beis, is going to be gevura for the males, and the 3rd day is going to be teferes, the 4th day is going to be natzach, the 5th day is going to be all kubutzim, then the leil shishi is going to be this mixture, but the female aspect is still with the kubutz. The male aspect is going to show itself as the way that Yesod is normally shown. Then the 7th night is normally Malchus. But over here he went to the whole thing is a, what does he call it? We'll get to, anyway, it's all Vavs. And then the Leil Shemini looks like this. There are 2 differentiations. So let's go down to the Shefa here in the little bit of time that we have remaining. He says, Leo Rishon is boyer kan lekavin b'kol laila shem b'vaya b'nikud acher. Okay, we said that. Gavar kal kasav dachal le'ero b'sidach yari lo kasav kavan zos b'shem havaya kan. So according to the Yari, he doesn't have that in there. Ela b'yud gimel tevos abrocha, but only in the 13. In other words, he doesn't have these specific changes for every night in the Havaya. Instead, he just has in the Ela b'yud gimel tevos abrocha that he shows the yud gimel mechinin derachamim of the midas derachamim, hanimshacha b'ches yimei Chanukah, and then he adds again the b'leil ches nimshach b'tikun ches ad tikun yud gimel. So all of that comes in. The last night is like the big bundle. Nimsa ches tevas rishonos kenege ches leilos de Chanukah. So he says that the ches first 8 words go with the late lines of Chanukah, because teva kosav shem b'vaya b'nikud shayach l'lai l'zu. So there's a nikud that comes in there. V'chavayas menukado. So this is something that I want to say from the last year. He says the chavayas menukados, the word the nikudim heim haneshama. So we know this from Shartanta that inside of the letters, benimi to the letters, are going to be the nikud. Benimi to that is a tamim, but that's not the issue here. It is that here we say a constant theme that is within the chavaya itself for each night. So he said, "V'chavayas menukados heim haneshama benimi shal dikna." So that's what's inside of the dikna as this flow is coming through. It's interesting. That's a panemius and a characterization. Number Yud Aleph, he says, Leil Shavi. Now, what about this? Here's the question that he had. He named it B'kol Laila Ha'osius Ha'nuk, the letters for the Nuk Shehem B'beis Hain, Sheb'Shem, Medukada B'kibutz, B'nikud Kubutz. He's now calling it Kubutz before they call it Kibbutz. Shehu Nikud HaHod, which is the nikud that goes with Hod, V'rat Nikudas Achadis Karnim Shehem Yud, involved Mishtanim, and we've kind of read this before. Aval B'layla HaShvi, but when you come to the 7th night, Seder Eskal Hashem B'nikud B'lafum. That's the word I was looking for. He says that each one of them is going to have a dot in it. So what's pshat over here with the vav dot? So he says kulo ba'otzias hascharm. All of them are in the male letters. Shehem b'nikud malafim. Everything is going to be a malafim. So let's see. Male letters, female letters. I know what he said exactly. So he said, now we're on page Ayin Vav. You have that?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Yeah, I don't know. V'hine makor kavanas nikud shemos. So the root, let's say, of the kavana for the nikud shemos, who b'pri eitz chaim. You could look over there in Shar Chanukah. Amnam sham kasav es nikudas dalad leilos rishona. So there it shows you and explains the 4 first ones. Below himshach devar shar halaylos. Unfortunately, all the rest of the laylos, it doesn't tell you anything about it, because our questions are with number 7 and number 8 night. Machberes hakodesh of a mishdachas hasidin is ba'arvid nikudi kol halaylos. So there it tells you the nikudim of all of them. V'sham nizbachar kamosha kazav kam. The layla shaviyah menuga kula balafim. But tzarach iyam, what's pshat over here? So why is that? The hare bekol laila mekubanim as osius hey bekubus the vish Chanukah behod. So this is a big question over here. Chanukah he answers that question. V'av b'laila hashmini I'll call upon him. So the last night hey achrona bekubutz, the final hey is going to be with the kubutz. So he said, look into that. What is that? What's pshat? Ma'im b'sefer Imre Noam. We have a little extra time today or not? No. We have 1 minute?
Oh yeah, a few minutes.
Okay, so maybe we could get through this. That's what I want to do. Anyway. Ma'im b'sefer Imre Noam, the Chanukah. He said, "V'bir ha'inin al pi masher kasev avodas yisod rav shehi keneged ataras yisod." It really corresponds to an extra aspect of the yisod, which is the tip of it. And because of that fact, because all of these malafim, he calls them, which is, I call it the shurak vav, but at any rate, he says all of these are really yisodadika kind of, they refer to yisod. So he said, but the fizeh pirish the belail vav leil vav shu keneged the yisod v'radayim omed bein netzach and hod. So at the sixth day, everything, the nai is still lined up equally. Shaykh lekaven nikud kubutz ba'osius hey, because then the hays are going to be equal to the yisod and the netzach. They're all going to be in the same line. So therefore, it continues to be our good friend hod. Avach belail leil zayin. Yisod, which is not the Yisod that's lined up with the other two, Ha'omed the Matam in Netzach and Hod, Lo Shayach L'Kaven Nikud Kubutz Klal. You shouldn't be thinking about Kubutz at all. Ela Devi Zera V'Hiksher Lama B'Leil Ches Menaknim Oz. So why is it on this? So, okay, fine. So you do that because it's now in a lower position. Nine Ches is going to be ultimate Malchus over here, I think. That the fizeh of a hiksha lama b'leil ches menaknim also hey achrona b'kubutz. There is a kubutz at the end of it there. So the argument that you're saying that is down below the netzach and nahod is why change over when you finally get to the last night? Harehu keneged malchus, in that part which I said is keneged malchus. Ha'omedet b'vada the matach and the netzach and nahod, and that's sure not in the game. So that can't be the answer. V'ayin shan the road lomer. So look over there, and this is what he wants to say. Duhu toes sofer b'leil ches. So he says over there, it's a mistake. Leil ches shouldn't be like that. V'naktim bo rak nikud tzvakos below kubutz klal. There's no kubutz at all, and you do the regular malchus dika nikud. Ayin sham. So look over there, amnam. B'siddur Reb Shabse v'Reb Asher. Isn't it Ashi? Is that right, Asher? Because
Asher.
it's okay. That is right. Reb Shab said to Reb Asher, Kasva Nikud Leil Hazayin Kulu B'Kubutz. Over there, they have everything in kubutz. They don't get him involved in it. B'Tzarek Iyun L'Lo Mitzina L'Zeh Makor, because I don't see a root for that idea. Uve'in Noam over there, Hanal. Kasva Dehu Toz Sofer. He also writes that there's some mistake here. Amnam came Kosev Gam B'Sidud, what is it? Zalkava. Of the Sefer HaKodesh Meir Eine Chachamim L'Chanukah. U'bebira b'tayim b'shal davar b'mash shemenukad kulu b'kubutz ayin sham b'orech. So if we had chance, we could go over there and look at it. Thanks for learning with me, Rebbe. I yesterday when I don't know, I was so dead that I went over this. I thought you were, something happened, so I didn't know what's going on. I didn't realize on my phone, so I apologize. But I went over this, and so I had a little better feeling for it anyway for today.
Thank you, man.
Kol tov.